Hello and welcome to another section of the Principles and Practice of Procurement. In the third section, just talking about the benefits of procurement to organizations. The unit is the nature and meaning of procurement and supply. So by the end of this third section, we should be able to know how effective procurement policies impact on profitability, the profit contribution, the benefits procurement provides by creating savings and improving efficiencies, and the benefits of procurement provides to the organization in terms of budget and budget monitoring. So the very first thing, how effective procurement policies impact on profitability, the profit contribution of procurement to our organization. Of course, we all know procurement play a key role in deciding a company's profit. It's the procurement function that is responsible for providing the materials needed in the production, while at the same time focusing on cutting costs and improving stock management, which makes it a key player in managing the company's responsibility or a company's profitability. When procurement isn't managed effectively, organizations can lose substantial amounts of money because we already established in the first section that procurement accounts for a larger sums or portion of an organization's revenue expenditure. So if at the end of the period we give procurement function money to get us our resources or some materials we need, we expect them to be able to go through the process diligently to cut down costs, which in the long run is going to improve our profit margin, right? So we are saying that procurement plays a key role in deciding on our profits. If they do their billings well, if they are able to go through their processes and cut down costs, then we can say that they've helped us in improving our profit. Whereas if they don't do all these things well, it's going to have a negative impact on our profits. If they increase their cost, then our profit margin is going to be reduced. Yes. The next thing, creating savings and improving efficiencies. There are many ways in which the procurement function can add value to an organization, right? And then some of these, we are going to take you guys through some of the ways which are common in which the purchasing function can contribute to organizations' effectiveness and increased profitability. So the very first way is cost reduction initiatives. This is negotiating low prices through improved method of working or using technology to reduce costs arising from purchasing processes. So example, we say requesting and submitting tenders via email instead of asking your suppliers to walk or drive using fuel, the dangers involved and all that to submit their tender documents. Instead of the procurement department going through all the processes, printing and all that to do that, we can just use the e-technology or technology advancement by having them submit their tenders, we inviting them online, not necessarily working or printing any documents for them to come and pick. And then the suppliers also not really wasting money coming all the way here, then all the time we have to waste in opening the tenders and all that. We can actually take advantage of some cost benefit initiatives to reduce some of these costs and then save costs, which is going to help us improve our profit. The next thing is improving supplier performance. Once you have a supplier, you should focus on improving them. Obviously, you should know how to approach the suppliers, demonstrate any understanding of their operations, and organize training sections for the suppliers where necessary. We should, for instance, listen to our suppliers. If there's anything we can do to help them, we should. If there is a need for us to organize training sections for these suppliers, we should. We should establish service level agreements so that we know we are on the same page. If you're not on the same page, these level agreements is going to tell us where each party falls, right? The next we have the effective new product introduction. Effective new product introduction will have to do with products being introduced at the right time, the right place, the right quality, the right quantity, etc. This means that a clear plan is needed to take a product from its conception to its final form. One way of achieving this is through early supplier involvement. This is when suppliers are involved right from the onset of the product development process. This is done so that the right materials to be used, perfect cost-saving innovative substitute to aid in forecasting and all other things are needed are gotten early in the product development stage. It's not like we are going to wait till the product is out. Then one supplier come and tell us, oh, it's actually difficult, or we've already started the process. Then one supplier come and tell us, oh, it's actually difficult to get this product at this time. You could have used this. Then we have to go back to the process and then do all these things. We can avoid all this waste in the process when we involve our suppliers early in the product development stage, right? That's why we say, as procurement professionals, one way to help organizations cut costs and improve efficiency is by having an effective new product introduction. And then that involving your suppliers early is one way you can do that. The next the next thing you can do to improve your efficiency or save cost is the quality improvement initiatives. So, in order to contribute to organizational effectiveness, we should be involved in continuous improvement initiatives. We do this to improve the organization's specific processes in order to ensure predictable results and outcomes are achieved in the process. We can do this by establishing improved goals and making sure we work towards achieving such goals. We have the knowledge management. Knowledge management here is okay. Let's just say it's up to the procurement function to keep organizations informed about key market developments, right? It's the procurement function that has to identify, organize, disseminate the right information in an organization. So if there is an improved innovation, or there is a new technology in the market, or an alternative supplier, or a better material, substitute material is in the market, it's the procurement function's responsibility to make sure that this information is communicated to in the organization, it's communicated to suppliers, it's communicated to whoever will need this information to make a decision that will help us cut costs and save in our process, right? Then we have waste management. The procurement function must consider the impacts at each stage of the the product life cycle, from the raw material stage to the final disposal stage, as a way of being sustainable, as we already established in our first section. Waste management and its implication, if this is not done, must be communicated to organizations. Waste management is even in our procurement law. As procurement functions, we can't just do anything anyhow. In order to achieve value for money, we should make sure we manage waste efficiently. We At every point in time, waste must be minimal in our production, our processes, everything. The right disposal places, we prefer to dispose of what must be done, what to not do must not be done, how many suppliers we need in order to have our optimum supply chain, supply base. We have to do it. We have to make sure at every point in time waste is minimal in our processes, right? And then finally, we have the risk management. So this is the process of identifying both internal and external risks in the supply chain, all right, and then developing appropriate risk assessments and mitigation strategies for each risk that has been identified and managed throughout the process or throughout the organization. Risk is a very dangerous thing to procurement organizations in our process or product development stages. So we have to make sure at every point in time risk is identified. That's why we have a risk register. We identify a risk, we record the risk, whatever we need to do to mitigate the risk. We assess the risk. What is the impact that risk is going to have on our organization? If that impact is being assessed, what can we do to solve the risk? Who is responsible for the risk? We have to answer all the questions relating to the risk, and then make sure the right thing is done before it escalates. All right. So this is all for creating savings and improving efficiencies. Now, what is a budget? So a budget is a financial statement that is prepared and approved prior to a defined period of time that shows income, expenditure, capital to be employed, and all that, right? So before the financial period, the managers sit down to prepare a budget for an organization so that we don't, when we are spending, we that is going to serve as a guide to help or aid us in our spending. Right. All right. So then what then is budgetary control or then budget monitoring? So budget control, budget monitoring basically is managing our income and expenditure. We as procurement professionals have to ensure that we regularly compare our actual income and expenditure to make sure we are still within the budget that was set for us before the financial period, right? So the actual budget is the financial statement that is set for us prior to the financial period. But then during the period, whilst we've started executing or spending the budget, we have to be periodically or regularly comparing our actual spendings to the budget to make sure we are still within budget. We are not overspending or underspending or doing anything contrary to the budget that's been set for us, right? So that brings us to the end of the third section. By way of summary, we have explained how effective procurement policies impact on profitability, specifically the profit contribution of procurement function to our organizations. We have also explained the benefits procurement provides by creating savings and improving efficiency. Finally, we looked at the benefits procurement provides to the organization in terms of budget and budget monitoring. Thank you.